What's going on, everyone? So, the Milwaukee Bucks are on a 5 game winning streak since the All Star break, rounding out the Bulls win. And now they look ahead into this month of March. They really try to right the ship. They've kind of been this real question mark, right, all season long. Like record wise, you look at them and you're like, wow, this team's really good. Right now, they're currently tied for second in the Eastern Conference. They're sitting at third behind the Cavs currently, but that's because they just have one extra loss, but one more win. Once that balances out, more likely than not, the Bucks, if they keep heading in the direction that they're heading, probably be the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. They've basically been the 2 or 3 seed pretty much all season long. And at 40-21, they look like a team that is a real threat. And I don't think anybody is counting the Milwaukee Bucks out, but they definitely have had their struggles. And the question is like, is this the moment that they're finally starting to turn it around? Are they finally starting to get it right? Or is this just kind of a bit of fool's gold, right? Because yes, the Milwaukee Bucks are 5-0 currently, but their only notable win was against the Minnesota Timberwolves, where they beat them 112-107. And you look at the other 4 games, it was against the Sixers, who have basically been a sinking, dying ship since Joel Embiid went down, the Hornets twice, and the Chicago Bulls. Right now they have a couple games coming up that I think will be a real test for them, and just kind of a stretch to kind of see where they really are. Right now they got the Clippers, they got the Warriors, they got the Lakers, they got the Clippers again, and then they have the Sacramento Kings. Then they have the Sixers, and then the Suns and the Celtics. So like 7 out of their next 8 games I believe, are going to be very telling for this Milwaukee Bucks team. Now, look, Damian Lillard, right? He's had his struggles this year. He hasn't been the same Dame that they were expecting him to be. Just his efficiency. Like you look at his numbers this season, you're like, oh, he's averaging 24, 4, and 6. He's doing pretty well, right? Like, but you look at his efficiency this season, and it just hasn't been great. He's 42% from the field, 34.6% from three-point range, which is not good by his standards. And you need him to be more efficient. You need him to be more effective. Giannis has been absolutely spectacular, but you need Dame to kind of be Dame if you really want to win an NBA championship. But the All-Star break, one of the things that I talked about and touched on is that the success that Dame had in the All-Star three-point contest as well as the All-Star game could kind of get him back in line to what he needs to be, back to kind of being the guy that they're hopeful for. Now he still has had his struggles. So like the last 10 games, which would go back to, beyond the recent 5 game stretch, but he's had a bit of dip in production, 34.4% compared to 34.6%. It's not a huge drop off, but still, I mean, that could be the difference between you winning games and losing games at point two. 41.8% from the field rather than 42.4%. His assist totals have gone up slightly, which is good. Rebounding has dropped slightly. But the biggest thing is the turnovers have gone up. Right. And so the hope was, okay, Damian Lillard would go and have this all-star break, kind of get himself right. Oh, he wins the three-point contest. Oh, he wins the all-star game MVP. He's spectacular in that, lighten it up. And it was like, well, hopefully that translates for the Milwaukee Bucks. And unfortunately, it hasn't quite happened yet. Right. And look, Damian Lillard has talked about it heavily, how, they really need to figure it out. This is kind of Giannis's team, and this is, what the deal is, and he's here to kind of fit. He's used to, it's been tough for him because he's used to having the ball in his hands and being the guy, and then, him going and having to play second fiddle to Giannis, who is just so great. It is a challenge. It is a little rough. And you see a lot of players kind of take a year, right? Like they have the feeling out year, and then the next year they really pick it up. But here's the problem. Do they have a next year? Because if let's say they're like a first or second round exit, Giannis has kind of not been very happy this season. And, they fire Adrian Griffin. There was a lot of talks about like it was because of Giannis. Giannis has put pressure on the organization a lot lately. Even when they went and got Dame, it was like, yeah, this will help. If they win, great. You probably have Giannis for the rest of his career. If you don't, then Giannis may be demanding a trade in the offseason, right? It's kind of one of those things. Get your money and then get out and kind of force the organization's hand. So I don't think that they're fully out of the woods yet. And Damian Lillard, right? What does Damian Lillard ask out? Now, you might think like, oh no, like why would he do that? He's playing with Giannis. He's not, he hasn't really had a lot of great things to say. It's like every time he has anything to say about like Milwaukee or like the team or anything, it's not really good things. It's just kind of like, yeah, I'm here. I don't really have any friends. I'm just playing video games all day. I'm just, trying to stay occupied. Right. It's just, and then even like with Milwaukee, it's just kind of like, yeah, like I'm trying to figure things out. Like he just doesn't really seem like a very happy, bought in person. And I mean, his production and play, it could be one of the reasons that signal it. Right. So, I mean, like you look at some of these games and it's like, okay, against the Chicago Bulls, he's 4-18 from the field, 16 points, 7 assists. Against Charlotte, 17 points, 5 of 14. Only 2 assists. Charlotte again, 23 points, which is better. 8 of 14, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Was solid in that game. Philadelphia, 24 points, 8 of 15. Solid in that game. 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Like, that's the kind of Dame that they need. That, like, hey, give you 23 to 25 points a game. Give you, not necessarily has to go give you 9, to 10 rebounds, but they'll give you like 4 to 6 rebounds a game and then give you like 7 to 9 assists, right? You look at like Minnesota, he's 8 of 23, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, right? Not great, but not terrible, right? Like those are the kind of things you need. And then you see like a game like Washington. It's like, okay, there's Dame, 14 to 26, 39 points, 27 minutes, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. But then you look and it's like, oh, it was against Washington. Okay, what did he do against a good team like Miami? 5 of 14 from the field, 16 points. What about Denver? 18 points, 6 of 15 from the field. It's just like these are the issues. And it's just it's kind of this like dark cloud over Dame. And so I see a lot of hype, I see a lot of excitement, I see a lot of like, hey, the Milwaukee Bucks are back. And it's like, are they though? Like, are they really? They're beating bad teams, right? The Minnesota win was a solid win, don't get me wrong, but outside of that, it's like I can't say that they're this new and improved Milwaukee team until I see them in this more recent stretch. If they go like 3-4 in this stretch, it's like, okay, they aren't. Like they're they're just as bad. I mean, this is a team that was abysmal when Doc Rivers took over. Right? And it's just and this is just me. I don't personally believe in Doc Rivers. I just don't think he's had the success that you look at and look for in the postseason. I know he won an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics team, but that Boston Celtics team, you and me could have been the coach on that team, and they still would have won. That team was strapped with so much talent, so much veteranness. Like that was a team that just they were going to win regardless. They were clearly far and away the best team. But even in the postseason, they had their struggles. There was a couple times where they almost lost in that first postseason. And they ended up pulling off the win. But then outside of that, it's just like every year after that, they just underachieved, right? They didn't win again. I mean, they didn't get to the finals one more time, but like you just kind of looked at that team and you were like, man, they should have won again. But okay, stuff happens. It's really hard to win in this league. And then he goes to a team with like the Clippers. And you just look at his history. You look at his track record. You look at the talent Doc Rivers has had over his career. And it's just like, you'd think that there'd be a little more success. I'm not saying he has to have 10 NBA finals under his belt or anything like that, but, a record of blowing 3-1 leads and being a perennial second round exit is not really good for just your legacy, right? And it's just, look, you get into the postseason, you have Damian Lillard and Giannis. That's the idea. You have two guys that are proven playoff performers, two guys. I mean, Damian Lillard has arguably some of the best playoff moments ever, right? Like game winners, all kinds of stuff. And so you kind of look at it and go, okay, like just get to the postseason, right? Sometimes there are those teams that they just don't really look that great. I mean, like look at Miami every year. Miami's like the play-in team every single year, and then they're in the finals. They're built for that grind of the playoffs, and that just like I'm gonna beat you up. Like they're a playoff team. They're not the best regular season team, but get Miami into the postseason, and guess what? They're gonna bare minimum you're going down swinging, right? So that's kind of the hope with Milwaukee is like just get them into the postseason and then kind of let the chips fall where they fall and live with the results. So that's always a possibility. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks, Dame, Giannis? Do you think that they win the championship? Do you think no? Do you think that they have a punch chance? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.